Final Jeopardy. The category today, before and after. As in, before you were just a Jeopardy fan watching at home, yelling out the answers. But after, you're on the show, buzzing in for real. A team of Jeopardy producers traveled the country auditioning potential contestants. We spent a day with them when they came to town at the Book Cadillac Hotel in Detroit.
We're looking for great people to go on Jeopardy. Who wants to go on Jeopardy? Me. Okay, I like it. Very good.
The first step in the process of becoming a contestant is to take one of our online tests, and we have them for adults, kids, teens, college, etc.
How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Where'd you come from?
Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo in the house.
And then after that, if you pass the online test, and you get fortunate because we don't have room at these in-person auditions for everybody that passes the online test, then you get to come to an in-person audition, take another test. We are givers. We'll give them as many tests as it takes. I mean, I think the last thing we want is somebody on the show that can't play double Jeopardy.
An answer sheet, a Jeopardy pen, your quote-unquote interesting stories, or the lies that you made up to tell Alex on the show for your interview.
I'm anticipating some stiff competition, I'm sure. It's a very popular game show, a lot of bright people. I am dreading before and afters. Those are really hard.
I'm not terribly good at foreign geography.
I could probably use a little brush up on literature and the fine arts.
If you know the answer, up goes your hand. But wait for me to finish reading. Let's get used to the timing.
Detroit for 200, please.
Detroit. The Detroit Shock and the New York Liberty are teams in this pro league. Ma'am.
What is the WNBA?
Yes, nice and loud. Category and dollar amount.
Detroit 400.
Hitsville, USA. This label's original recording studio is now a museum on West Grand Boulevard in Detroit. Sir.
What is Motown?
Very good.
After the test, I'm going to come back and show you how to use the signaling device. These are the real ones from the show. Nicely done.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Trebek, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Jeopardy contestant test.
Oh no, oh no, you're not going in there. They're getting ready to take the test, and you can't have a look at that.
Ancient Angkor for 16.
Kelly this time.
In this Hindu creation myth, gods and demons alike pull back and forth on a sacred snake, churning the sea of this life-giving liquid, a symbol of immortality.
Well, I just recently celebrated my 8th anniversary with the Clue Crew. I can hardly believe it, so I'm going into my 9th season coming up.
Do you like Alex better with or without the mustache?
Personally, I prefer him without. However, I will say I've only known him personally without it. So the Alex Trebek I think of with the mustache is the guy I grew up with watching on TV, right? Now I work with him.
It's always a highlight to meet the Jeopardy viewers, the folks who want to be on the show, essentially the people who make our show special. It's just such a good time because they have such great questions and they're genuinely interested. It's actually one of the highlights of my job to have a chance to meet them. Once the contestants make it onto the show, we're not allowed to speak to them or have any conversations other than a wave from afar, only because we're exposed to so much game material, and to keep it fair for everyone, we have to keep our distance. So it's always a lot of fun to meet the contestants beforehand in these searching.
Approximately 100,000 people took the online test this year, and out of that 100,000, we've been able to see between 2,000 and 3,000, at these in-person auditions. And then out of that, we only have room on the show each season for approximately 400 new contestants. And I got to tell you, that's why it's tough to get people on the show the first time they try out for the show. And we do suggest people try it more than once. You know, when we interviewed Ken Jennings, I thought, yeah, he's a really good player, but who would know that he'd be able to go on to win 74 shows of Jeopardy? That kind of thing you can't predict. We only have room at these in-person auditions for approximately 2,500 each season. So you've done very well. Now you're part of the 1%. No need to occupy. Just get ready to kick some Jeopardy butt, and that's what we're going to do today. Have some fun, lighten up. As a matter of fact, let me look around the room and see the smiles. They're going to get you on the show. That's right. I want the contestants to understand, and I try to tell them this at the studio, Alex has their backs when they're on the show. He knows how difficult this material is. He plays this material. He takes the test, and he's very good at the material, so he knows how difficult it is as well to play it. The other thing is, Alex is super down to earth. He comes to work in his jeans and his t-shirt.
I think what surprises our contestants the most when they meet me on stage here for Jeopardy is that I'm such a really nice person.
Then we actually have them play the game on their feet like they would on the show. And you guys have seen, we have a great computer system that replicates our game board. We bring the actual signaling devices from the show, so they have a chance to really see what it's like to play the game on their feet. And we have a chance to see what they're like playing the game.
So let's start with Mara. Mara, come on up, cheer on everybody.
I'd like Hats Entertainment for 400, please.
In 1989, this movie character's trademark brown fedora was donated to the Smithsonian.
And Will.
Who is Indiana Jones? Right.
World War I took place in this decade.
Christopher.
What are the 1910s? Good.
Last clue, Christopher, anything you'd like?
I'll take the Wild West for 600, please.
After killing this outlaw, Pat Garrett wrote a book to correct the 1,000 false statements in the press.
And Christopher.
Who is Jesse James?
No. Double D for 4.
Tremble with fear.
Blank, I thought of it.
Kevin.
What is Shutter?
Very good.
It's hard to say. I mean, I didn't know as much as I would have liked to have known, but I don't know, I'd like to think I was a little bit charming in there.
I think it went quite well. Everyone's having a really good time. We got to play a mock round of the game and take a written test, and seem to be having a good time in there. So I'm really pleased and look forward to good things.
I was nervous at first during the written exam. It was pretty tough in the first half, but then I guess luck turned, and then the second half of the questions, it turned out to be more comfortable with the categories. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Those contestants have worn us out. We must eat.
We must be replenished.
Hi.
And welcome, Rick.
Thanks very much.
Here we go.
Your quote-unquote interesting stories for Alex, or the lies that you made up for your interview on the show. Full house.
Everyone's here already?
Yep.
If you're bright, by all means, try out for Jeopardy, because you could wind up as a contestant on our stage, and it would be a big positive not only for you, but for all of the viewers in the Detroit area. Do it.
Contestants who do well at the in-person auditions could get the call to be on the show anytime within 18 months. So keep watching weeknights at 7:30, and you might just see one of those Jeopardy hopefuls soon. Coming up, a photographer on a mission to visit every grocery store in the city. Find out what he's looking for and why. Next.